My name is Nicole Womeldorff, and my project showcase was a workshop on a medication we sell at Merck Pharmaceuticals called Belsomra. On a monthly basis, as a Belsomra point, I must run a workshop on different topics related to Belsomra. For this project, I decided to run a workshop on issue responses for our customers, physicians, on a new competitor that came into market June 2021 called QUVIVIQ. This medication is hitting the market hard, and several of my customers have a lot of questions about what information they are being told by the QUVIVIQ representative, not only about their product, but also about Belsomra. Working through some of the questions and how we should respond and transition back to the key message about Belsomra is important for the team to work through, important for the business, and important for the patients that we serve. The vision I had for this project was to provide an inclusive, safe environment for my team members to practice role-playing customer obstacle handling with a new pharmaceutical competitor. The purpose of this workshop was to successfully work through different obstacles hypothetically given by a provider and how the representative would handle these different obstacles with their customer. Doing this will help build the confidence needed to handle different scenarios given to representatives in the field during our everyday work. Preparing all of the sales representatives at Merck to handle customer obstacles correctly, respectfully, and compliantly is the rationale for having these product workshops monthly throughout the year. Obstacle handling workshops help build confidence in our selling skills and in the knowledge about the products we are selling. According to Peter Nordhaus in the book Introduction to Leadership, several leadership traits that have been deemed essential for a good leader to possess are intelligence, confidence, charisma, determination, sociability, and integrity. The three key ones that I have led with this workshop is confidence, sociability, and integrity. Having confidence in yourself will help your teammates be confident in you and your ability as well. Being a sociable person is also important because connecting with your team as people and not just as coworkers is essential to show them you care about them. Integrity is also a key trait for not only leaders, but also all human beings. Knowing to do the right thing when nobody is watching is a key trait to help build your credibility as a person. Two different behavior types illustrated by leaders include task behaviors and process behaviors. Task behaviors are used to get the job done, and process behaviors are used to help people feel comfortable in a group setting. Both are essential to be a successful leader, and both need to be used. I tried to use behaviors that modeled staying on track, but also caring about the team involvement and pulling in all parties to give feedback to each other. Three skills that I showed as a leader in my workshop were practicing showing emotional intelligence, problem solving, and managing both people and resources. Three strengths that I have as a leader and use are my authenticity, my love of learning, and forgiveness. I'm a very authentic person that helps build my credibility, and my love of learning shows that I am open to all new ideas and not just my ideas. Also, I am not closed off to receive constructive feedback myself. Being able to forgive people helps me not hold grudges or judgments against people who may have just been having an off day. There are three different leadership philosophies observed in leaders, which are Theory X, Y, and Z. Theory X is made up of three different assumptions that include 1. The average person does not like to work and will avoid it if possible. 2. People need to be directed and controlled. And 3. People want security, not responsibility. Leaders with this philosophy tend to be directive and controlling. Leadership Y has the assumption that 1. The average person doesn't inherently dislike work. 2. People will show responsibility and self-control towards goals that they are committed to. And 3. In the proper environment, the average person learns to accept and seek responsibility. Theory Z leadership philosophy emphasizes common cultural values, beliefs, and objectives among its members with a focus on communication, collaboration, and consensual decision-making. These three theories fall in direct correlation with leadership styles. Theory X is very similar to an authoritarian leadership style. A democratic leadership style tends to mimic a Theory Y philosophy. And then there is laissez-faire leadership style that is looked at as non-leadership. They engage in minimal influence. In this project, I have tried to model a Theory Y leadership philosophy with a democratic leadership style. The abilities of leadership that I think I attain and express during the workshop is an outgoing personality, being able to speak publicly, and being an extrovert. Climate and culture of a team is essential for the success of the team. The atmosphere of the team is a key component of climate and culture. Making sure everyone feels welcome, a part of the community, and feels like the team is a safe space to talk is my number one focus as a leader. There are 4 ways to establish a constructive climate. 1 is being able to provide structure. This entails giving all the group members a blueprint of the work that needs to be completed. I did this by giving the team members an outline of the pre-work that needed to be completed, as well as an outline of how the actual Belsomra workshop was going to be presented. The second way is by clarifying norms. Clarifying the rules and behaviors that are established by the group is essential to make everyone feel comfortable in the team environment. I did this by ensuring that they are not being graded and that there is no judgment on how we present. It is just to help us all build confidence in front of each other so that we can have the confidence talking about Belsomra to our customers in the field. The third way to build a constructive climate is by building cohesiveness. Building that sense of we-ness is also essential to build trust, credibility, and authenticity in our team. I show this by allowing everyone a voice to speak open and honestly, let everyone give their viewpoints, and accept opinions from other people. The fourth way to establish a constructive climate is by promoting standards of excellence. In other words, make sure to require results, review results, and reward results. In the Belsomra workshop, I told them what was expected to be accomplished, reviewed at the end what was accomplished, and congratulated and thanked the team for their participation in the workshop. This was also the time that I reminded the team to please fill out the evaluation form to help me improve as a leader. Ways that I embraced diversity and inclusion in my workshop was by making sure my team felt safe, felt involved and engaged, felt respected and valued, felt influential, felt authentic and whole, and recognizing, attending to, and honoring diversity within our team. I think diversity and inclusion seems very easy to comprehend, but is harder to implement than people think. In my workshop, I had one teammate who was very quiet and not very engaged in the conversation and meeting. I didn't want to call her out in the group and ask her to share her thoughts when I could tell there was a reason behind the non-participation. Instead, I reached out after the call to show her that I cared and wanted to make sure her voice was heard. These 6 principles of diversity and inclusion are essential to make sure that every single person in a team feels important and heard. The Fisher and Urey's method on how to handle conflict had a huge impact on not only how I am as a leader, but also how I handle conflict in my personal life as well. The first step is separating the people from the problem, then focusing on the interests of the other person, not your positions, then to invent options for mutual gains, And then finally, insist on using objective criteria. Staying objective in conflict can sometimes be hard, but it is crucial to obtain conflict resolution. In my workshop, I had 3 conflicts or obstacles. The first obstacle that I ran into, as pre-mentioned, was the teammate that did not participate in the pre-work. I initially was upset that she wasn't paying attention and wasn't engaging in the workshop. However, I thought about it objectively and came to the understanding that I needed to accept her emotions and figure out what was really going on before jumping to conclusions. The second conflict was the lack of involvement in the pre-work call, which really had the same conflict resolution as the first conflict. I called this specific person after the call and checked in with her about why she was not able to participate and what else was on her mind. Once I was able to understand where she was coming from, then I could reiterate to her what the call was about and what I needed from her by the next call. She was able to deliver on that and was elated that I understood and took the time to understand where she was at and why. My final conflict that I encountered was having to remind my teammates to complete and return the evaluation form so that I was able to complete my showcase. I had to remind and resend the request several times, but I did finally get all the forms back. Instead of getting upset, I just kept understanding that they have lives too and to just keep reminding them. I am learning that getting mad and fighting every single conflict is not a good use of my time, my emotions, and is counterproductive and can cause a rift between the leader and the team. Being an ethical leader is also essential to the success of the team. Ethical leadership has 6 major components, including the character of the leader, the actions of the leader, the goals of the leader, the honesty of the leader, the power of the leader, and the values of the leader. As a leader and a person, I make sure all of my characteristics and goals are ethical, that I am honest and authentic in every way and aspect of my life. I do not use power and leadership to power over my team. I am still a teammate even though I am the leader. All of my values are also in line with being ethical. In order for a leader to be successful, they also have to be ethical. 2 of my teammates, Zia and Jenna, were able to provide pretty good feedback for me that I'm going to take forward in my leadership skills for the future. Conflict management and obstacle handling have never been my strong suit, and I would like to continue to use the principles I learned about in this class to help me build on how to manage it better in the future. I also felt like I gave a strong vision for the workshop, but I had a lower score on that too, so I want to make sure that the vision and purpose of the topic or project is communicated better to the team in the future as well. There was also feedback regarding the speed of my oral presentation. I think that I get excited and nervous, so I speed my language up, which causes words to get lost. I want to work on slowing down when I am presenting. 2 of my other teammates, Hope and Federica, were also able to provide me good feedback as well. Hope brought up my confidence as a leader in the area of improvement. I could not agree more, and I think that I need to have more confidence in myself as a leader and not be so worried about what people are going to think of me. Sometimes I feel like I do get wrapped up in the leadership portion, and it is not a comfortable position to be in yet. I think that with more time spent in a leadership role, I will begin to be more comfortable in that role. In this workshop and in this class, I learned so much about what it is to be a good leader. There are so many things that I learned about leadership and how to be a positive leader that I plan to take forward with me in the future. The biggest thing I learned about myself is to have emotional intelligence. I need to have more control over my own emotions so that I can understand other people's emotions too. I also think that this would help me with obstacle handling and conflict resolution as well. Thank you for listening to my presentation about my leadership in the Belsomra workshop I conducted at Merck.